How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to the Imperial Capital Burns, part of the Muv-Luv alternative Total Eclipse stuff. It's pretty good. It was so cool to see Yuuhi last time. I genuinely didn't think that was going to be a part of the story, and it's apparently not over yet, which is really, really fascinating to me. But yeah, I guess some of the politicking in the backdrop type of setting that's going to be covered here is going to involve her as she's preparing to try and, secure the shogunate seat, which is really fascinating again. Had some fun theories, had some fun, ideas about, why the politicians and why she even is able to be successful in the politicking. Pretty much the foundation is that the assumption is that I'm guessing that those in power assume she'd be easy to manipulate. And in a way, she's kind of right. I mean, not that she's easy to manipulate, but that she kind of has to play by their games a little bit and probably has to allow them to manipulate her to some extent in order for her to actually not only secure power, but maintain power, which is probably why the coup happens in the first place. Remember, the coup is about the disconnect between the shogunate and imperial system, and that disconnect that is experienced from there and the common soldiers. And so, unfortunately, these games are kind of necessary, but at the same time, they're doing a lot of harm to the common soldier. So we're going to likely see some of the ripples of that as well, which is really cool. Anyway, nothing else to really say other than let's just jump right in and see where things go. I feel like we're not going to see too much more from Yuuhi, but I wasn't sure when I stopped last time, and we'd been going for a while, so yeah, it's about time for us to move on. Anyway, thank you so much. Let's jump right in. Alright, change of clothes, a bit of range if you'll follow me. Yeah, Yuuhi! Uh-huh.
大陸情勢を鑑みた城大省調査室の配慮にて仙台三剣邸に移られてございます。
Nice, alright.
何の話でしょう。いえ、マナの独り言にございます。お気になさらぬよう。
Yeah, see. The decree that Mitsurugi Estate in Sendai should play host to one unexpected guest. I think that's Maya.
そうですか。
Remember this time,
そなたに感謝を。
at this time, I believe they're still hiding that they're twins. So the Kobuin, that's like the family name, that's like the official name. And then the Mitsurugi is the kind of branch off name where they sent Maya, because it's Mitsurugi Maya.
独り言ゆえ気にするでない。は。
Wouldn't it be wild if we got to see her? I was literally 2 screens away. Fortified suit changing room. Oh boy.
これきつい。
Alright, YouTube. Let's have a chat here. I have no idea what we're going to see when we click this. We're going to have to find out together, shall we? Here we go.
真面目にダイエットしとけばよかった。
Oh yeah, I'm sure all of us would feel awfully, self-conscious. Wearing a real Type 77 fortified suit is a sobering reminder of how far I've come. But there's something else I've come to realize as well. This is rather tight, isn't it? I thought the material was supposed to stretch. It is, but it's also skin tight. They said it many, many times.
内側ぬるっとしてるし、それになんかひんやりする。うえ。
That would be really weird to get used to. It's I know it's almost playing off of you're like, what's the motivation behind all this? Suspect. But at the same time, You could actually admit, like, it's been where maybe the origin wasn't necessarily the most wholesome. They've baked it into a very loreistic, applicable setup, which is what they really kind of tried to make sure to do with this game. Like, this is why the suits look like this. Please believe us, it's nothing weird. I don't think they do have that.
大丈夫よ。一度上まで上げちゃえば、なんかすごく伸びるし。
Yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, YouTube, please forgive me. They expressed that very clearly, that's exactly what happens. Oh, the suit literally transitioned into the very, very dang.
座学でやったでしょ。筋電圧を検知しやすくするためなんだから、ちょっと気持ち悪いけど仕方ないよ。
Yep.
でもさ、実際着てみると結構しんどいよこれ。股の排泄物ドレーンとかすっごい違和感だしさ、なんかガニ股になりそうだよ。あんたね、いちいち騒いでないで早く着替えちゃいなさいよ。
She's got a point.
早くアーマースキン着た方がいいよ。感覚欺瞞が効いて気にならなくなるから。
Yeah, it's also pretty clear that, like, once you get used to it, it's something that, like, really feels like a second skin to you. Like once people start, like, once they adjust to it, it feels like a lot of people even find that the suit is almost, like, comforting. Learning about the fortified suit in theory does little to prepare you for how it feels to put it on in practice. In that sense, it would be smart to get used to it as soon as possible. Except, well, oh my gosh. The suit with a transparent membrane doesn't really leave a lot to the imagination. Okay, YouTube, please forgive me. They did edit it, though. I know what the old ones used to look like. They used to be very transparent. Just showcasing it, huh? I understand this is the only way to truly overcome the shame that is to experience it firsthand, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. Now I really wish we could wear the black fortified suits, and not only because I've been seeing them since I was little. I mean, yes. Again, that's kind of the point.
これが私たちをいろんな意味で守るんだから。でもさ、うっすら透明なのはまだしも、なんか体のラインが出すぎるっていうか。
You all have nothing to worry about.
安心していいわよ、アキ。いくら教官が飢えたおじさん連中だって。
Oh.
見応えがあるものを選ぶはずだからね。
That's the spice.
あんたそれどういう意味？って泉、なんで今胸見た？セマコまで。別に私は何も言ってないからね。
お。
うわ、硬っ。なんなのあんたたちのおっぱい。コンクリってあれ？柔らかくなった。強化皮膜って急激な外部加圧には分子構造の変異で硬くなるの。
What is happening right now?
あんたほんと座学興味ないのね。あ、そういえばそんなこと言ってたかな。あははじゃない。何がコンクリよ。まったく失礼ね。
Oh, Shibako. Yeah. Yeah. This is... Yes, Yui, I 100% agree with you. This is how I feel right now. It's like, really? Really? Putting on a fortified suit is a single step that marks the beginning of the journey as a surface pilot. The road ahead is long and harsh, but I'm finally ready. Today I start to follow in father and uncle Iwaya's footsteps. Today I start my quest to live up to the Kyoko-sama's example. And today I start my efforts to finally defeat Yamashiro-san and banish the suspicions surrounding House Takamura once and for all. Defeating her is not going to do that, but I understand you gotta have a goal, so go for it.
Yes.
Wow, that was literally like a whole segment got an achievement was just the fortified suit scene. My gosh. Oh, look at those! That's crazy.
揃いも揃ってなんだその釜は。シミュレーター協定に戻りたいのか。戦術家貴様らにとって武具甲冑であり馬でもある。手足のように使いこなさなければお話にならんぞ。
Yes, sir. Ugh. What's wrong with me? My performance in the simulator was perfect, especially when it comes to flying in formation. Maybe I should decrease thruster output and focus on maintaining balance? No, that's no good. Controlling a TSF at high speed must become second nature to me.
いいか。低く早く這うようにだ。C02 実戦だったら貴様はもう沸騰しているぞ。
So that's that, like the ceiling detector. The idea is like the elevation is too high.
低く早く這うように。
You gotta think about that. Damn, didn't I lower my altitude too much? God, it'd be so hard to do this. I can't pull up fast. Am I gonna crash? Why is it a TSF responding? Automatic assistance program.
D01 貴様はこれまで何を学んできた。景気を信じろバカ者。
I never messed up like this in the simulator. Remember the lecture, believe in myself? I mean, I get the feeling what this is saying like, hey, do you want to see a flashback that's going to go and exposit, or do you want to skip it and just go straight to the stuff? But we're going to go for the lecture. Breathe, calm down, remember your lessons.
そもそも戦術機は常時飛行を前提に設計されていない。戦術機の飛行、つまり長距離ホライゾナルブーストのことだが、これは流体力学的には理論上不可能の領域にある。では、なぜ飛ぶのか。答えは明快だ。ジャンプユニットに搭載されたハイブリッドエンジンが誇る高い推力重量比、そしてコンピューター制御によるフライバイワイヤー、あるいはフライバイライトの自立補助があるからだ。
They're like trying to go past the physical issues with mecha. The idea ultimately that a mecha would be awful at traveling, like maybe if it were running, but even then, it'd be challenging to make it an effective machine by that style. And then you have flying ones, and that is like very much like there's nothing to buoy them up. Like aircraft have wings, like large wingspans, and those wings produce like lift just via the mechanism of traveling through the air at a fast enough speed. The TSF doesn't really have that. They have like little things, but those are more for navigational purposes. And so they're trying to say like, oh, like it can fly because it has just insanely high output of rockets, which technically would allow you to fly, but it'd definitely be very unstable. And it would mean that you would have to fly at very fast speeds at all times, or like maybe hovering in place if you knew what you were doing. It would be very interesting to try and see a system like this that could work, because it's like, you got to think about those water jet, like kind of Iron Man type suits that people can use, but even those are really unstable. And that's essentially what all of these things have to fly under, is like that type of thrust velocity vectors. So it's really interesting. And where do they store all the fuel they must burn?
フライバイライトは第三世代機から導入された光ファイバーによる電子制御だ。大容量化、軽量化、耐久性向上、核戦術への対応など、あらゆる利点がある。これらの自立補助がある限り、戦闘機動ではなく、ただ飛ばすだけならむしろ墜落させることの方が難しいくらいだ。だが、 貴様たちが実機教習で使う練習機は違うぞ。いかに軽量化や近代化改修されていようが、激震は第一世代機。その設計当時、ジャンプユニットの指揮出力は今よりずっと低く、カエル飛び式の連続跳躍が精一杯。運動性、機動性ともに低かったことから、機体はおのずと重装甲化された。
So they're training in older models. They're going to have a different flight model and a flight structure, even programming to the simulator.
したがって、長距離飛行を想定しない機体形状が、その空力特性を非常に不安定なものにしている。わずかな入力ミスでも大きく挙動を乱すため、強力な自律補正がかけられているのだ。ここに初心者が陥りやすい罠がある。乱れた挙動をリカバーしようとする自律制御との感覚的なズレを操縦者が機体の不追従と錯誤し、手動で入力増しをしてしまうケースだ。
Interesting. So when the ACS attempts to compensate, it can make the TSF feel like it doesn't actually listen to your inputs and can cause an overcorrection. It's exactly what the danger of hydroplaning is. When you're driving along the road and you hit a patch of water, you hydroplane if you hit it in the right way, which means that you're not actually on a surface anymore, you're gliding across the surface of the water. People will start to try and turn, the car doesn't respond, then they'll turn harder, trying to try because you panic, because you feel like you're not getting a response, and then as soon as you get to the other side, or hit, or you finally, lose enough velocity that you sink back into the water, then suddenly you get grip again, and your car will get yanked, and you can easily, flip or just drive off the road. And that's why they always say, you have to calm yourself down. You have to, if you feel yourself hydroplane, you just need to, coast through it, even if it feels like you're going in a bad direction, because that's probably still safer than the erratic control that would happen if you just get jerked into one side suddenly.
機体自律制御と英子の操縦。この双方がより大きな修正を交互に繰り返す結果、機体は完全に制御不能に陥り墜落に至る。これが経験の浅い英子に最も頻発する事故ケースだ。
Interesting. So, in these types of moments, she shouldn't be freaking out. She should be letting the automatic system kick in, let it do its thing, and then try to control it. Dang, I didn't realize that she's literally in major danger right now. It's fine, as long as I'm just flying, the TSF should have no reason to crash. Haste makes waste, do this slowly, carefully. I simply have to match the autonomous control's responses. God, you have to fight this? That'd be scary. Whew. Somehow I managed to recover.
戦術機は貴様らを裏切らない。カタログスペックに貴様らが重ねるものがその機体の性能になるんだ。わかったか?
I love that. Your TSF will never betray you. That's right. It's the first step in any journey that will last the rest of our lives. Rome wasn't built in a day. We will master TSF step by step. What a relief to see Shimako and the others manage to stabilize their crafts. Wait, what about Yamashiro-san? Well, of course, I didn't expect any less from her. Come to think of it, J01, Yamashiro-san, has never been reprimanded by the instructors, not even once. Today makes the first time we stepped into a real TSF's cockpit, but there's already a clear divide between our ability. Stop. Comparison is the thief of joy. Persistence will only cause me emotional distress. It's true. And that's also God, it sucks too, because that's so real. That's how I've always suffered and under my own duress, because I'm always comparing myself to other people. I can't just be content with having something go successful in my own end. It's just you get, you're cool, you did something cool, but look how much cooler that person is. And that certainly happens a lot with YouTube. It's a genuine struggle to try and focus on the achievements and joys of what I do, when you can easily look at other YouTube channels and be like, man, what is it they've got that I don't? Why can't I be that successful? But that just would make me miserable. And so I've had to try and focus on the things that I know are wonderful about what I have been able to accomplish and am very happy with. I will better myself by overcoming myself. Interesting. It's animated there, but it's definitely a little different. That felt very stilted, but not in a bad way. Several hours later. We got a girl surface pilot academy. Hey.
あー、疲れた。ほんと最悪だよ、実機の後の昼飯は。
Wouldn't it be worse the other way around, eating right before you do all that?
このだるさっていつか慣れたりするのかしら。午前が実機演習だとお昼つらいよね。こっちはだるいのに全員揃うまで姿勢崩せないしさ。食欲ないのに早食いしないと怒鳴られるし。
Oh yeah, that's right. They're military academy style, and so like you get the food you're supposed to get, and you're expected to eat every bit of it.
それにしてもさ、強化装備の感覚欺瞞ってほんとすごいのね。これだけ内臓に来るのに着てるときは全然感じさせないんだもんね。
Oh, that's cool. See, why wouldn't you want to wear it like all the time if it could do stuff like that?
内臓筋が順応するまでの我慢だよ。実機搭乗20時間も経てば大丈夫になるんじゃないかな。私はもっとかかるかも。今日ずっと上下に揺れてたせいか胸焼けみたいな感じ。なんかひどい。
I wonder, like, you can't help but think it'd be like, what would it be like to be able to fly a TSF? It'd be pretty freaking cool. Like, obviously the reason the TSFs exist would make it not so great, but in isolation, wouldn't it be so fun to be able to fly a TSF? Even the flight suits, as gross as they initially would be, they sound like they'd be really cool.
私も加入力で何度も墜落しそうになっちゃった。縦揺れの繰り返し、結構こたえるよね。私もだよ、加入力。シミュレーター演習だと大丈夫だったのに。それにしても山城さん、悔しいけどさすがだよね。結局一度も怒鳴られなかったし。うん、そうだね。山城さんだけじゃなく J 小隊はみんなすごいよ。教官の指摘が一番少なかったもの。あの子たち山城さんの言いなりでロボットかよってバカにしてたけど。
Yeah, that's
やっぱり
crazy.
努力してんだなって思った。
She's got them real whipped into shape, but I'm guessing it's not just like, oh, they're just her little toadies. They're probably all just really highly motivated, and she also, I'm guessing they're normal students. I think all the students here are motivated. Like, you have to be in order to be successful here. But she was able to kind of cultivate it and really funnel it into like the right direction from hitting the ground. She just understands. It's almost like she's already had combat experience or something.
当たり前でしょ。言いなりだったとしても山城さんのオーダー叶えてるだけで十分すごいわよ。ああ、私無理だわ。山城さんの正体でやっていける自信ない。絶対無理。
I don't think you want to. I don't think I think that's the thing with Aki and everyone else. Like I said, the whole team, they're all greatly capable. They really are. All of us are really capable, I think. It's just sometimes do we have the willpower to put the dedication and the time into something, because that's the part that's hard, is the consistent dedication, the consistent effort, and the willingness to go a little extra mile rather than just do the bare minimum. And I think all of us in this squad could do that very easily, but we're just not the most motivated because we're kids. Like, we're really young. We're just starting to get used to life. It's like, I understand, because like this is a rough time to try and be fully dedicated to a job, a career path. You know, they want to just enjoy themselves, and you can't really blame them for that.
何言ってんの。あんたは自信以前の問題。連携がきっちりやれなきゃ向こうからお断りでしょ。だ、別にいいよ入れてもらわなくても。ま、操船部の借りは来月の模擬戦できっちり返すしさ。
A lot of confident talk from someone who's just admitted that they're not willing to put in the same level of effort.
もう飽きたら今度の演習は個人戦なのにどうやって借りを返すのよ。いいじゃん。J 小隊とうちらの勝ち星で比較すれば連携とか余計なものがないだけに勝ち負けはっきりするし。
Uh-huh.
まあそうかもしれないけど、なんか楽しみだな。 戦術機で1対1の近接戦なんてすごく燃えるよ。好き勝手に暴れられる。
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what Yui does with this. One-on-one, huh?
でも模擬戦はあくまで操縦技能習得率の中間考査だって忘れてない？合格すれば部隊連携協定に進むんだからね。分かってないな泉は。だからこそ短い自由を目いっぱい楽しむんじゃないか。
A slow panning zoom.
はいはい、分かったわよ。
I've heard the instructors match people up with similar skill levels in the TSF mock battle, but I wonder if the rumors are true.
今度こそ磨き上げた我が双剣術の。
Aki's just going on and on. At the very least, I hope they are. My GPA makes us rivals from the top spot of our class. A chance to go one-on-one against Yamashiro-san would be a heaven-sent opportunity.
しかし暑いな。なんかさ、アイス食べたくない？
I liked that we had that little moment where Shimako, like, she's paying attention to Yui, which, you know, I have my suspicions why, obviously, but it's interesting that she's noticing when Yui gets detached from a conversation, where she's, like, there, but clearly not there anymore.
買ってくればいいじゃないよ。まさかだるくて PX 行くの面倒とか言わないでしょうね。
Oh wait, they're being serious. They have ice cream? They can just go and get ice cream here. Man, we are living in that happy golden era, aren't we? Fetch me.
PX じゃダメなんだよ。種類が少ない上にツボを外したセレクト。噂のジャリジャリ君ラ・フランス味が食べたいよ。
Wow. So Japan really has a major step down after the invasion because, like, even the concept of like being able to just get Japan, like, she's complaining that the PX has a crappy selection of ice cream. I'm pretty sure by the time we get to Takaru and like on the military base, military school in Yokohama, like, ice cream is a foregone like dream. Let alone something you can complain about not having the best flavors.
そうだ。今晩寮抜け出してさ、みんなでコンビニ行こうよ。うまいって噂のジャリジャリ君ラ・フランス味買いに行こう。
Oh man.
コンビニか。懐かしい響きよね。確かにお菓子もアイスも選びたい放題だね。ダメだよそんなの。校則にも寮則にも違反してるでしょ。次の休暇まで我慢して。
Good call, Yui. I mean, it sucks. Again, they're kids, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, please don't.
そうだよアキ。そんなことしたら私たち受講停止処分になるかもしれないよ。シマ子はコンビニが恋しくないのかよ。今まで当たり前のように言ってたのにさ。
You can miss something and recognize it's still bad for you. Aki is surprisingly unreserved for a scion of a samurai family. It would be one thing to drop the facade a little bit among your peers, but constantly complaining about every little thing is something else entirely.
そういう規則なんだから諦めなさいよ。世俗から距離を置くのも鍛錬ってことでしょ。だったらそのルールが変なんだよ。入寮したら休暇の時だけなんて理不尽だと思わないのかよ。
You could always just not be in the class. This is a problem. Aki might actually try to escape from the dorms. How should I stop her? While reasoned arguments are useless when dealing with her, they will only encourage whatever conduct I'm trying to prevent.
だいたい寮の目と鼻の先にあるんだよ。すぐ戻ってこられるんだしさ。ちょっとぐらいいいじゃんか。仕方ないよアキ。私たちは武家に生まれたんだから範を示す立場なんだし我慢しなきゃ。そういうの本当に受け入れてるんだ。
And the shoe drops, huh? So she literally just does not care for it. Yep. Uh-oh. What did she just say?
いや、なんでもない。ところでこの後ってなんだっけ。
Interesting. So she doesn't go for it. There's two things I can think of here. I'm probably overthinking it. Like, the one in the very surface level is there's a simple idea of like, yeah, the whole system's just stupid. And I could get that. There's a lot of it that's pretty clunky and not great. But you don't always get to pick the hand you dealt, right? Secondly, though, the way she talked about it in that passive moment, it almost sounds like she's not a member of, like, the actual family. Like, what if she were, like, adopted in or brought in somehow, like, from the outside to kind of maintain, like, a family structure? And so she grew up outside the system and then kind of got brought into it. And now, so she's a commoner, but she's, like, playing the role for whatever reason. That'd be interesting.
午後はシミュレーター演習。劣化は部隊連携概論の予習。一日の協定ぐらい覚えておきなさいよ。なんかカリキュラム最近しょっちゅう変更になるからさ、つい忘れちゃうんだよ
ね。I doubt.
ふーん。そういうの、本当に受け入れてるんだ。
What does she mean by that? If Aki is trying to imply what I think she was, her sense of identity as a samurai descendant has become more rocky than I thought. Her complaints and grievances have always been directed at her superiors, the people who restrain her urges. Aki's not yet shown discord amongst her peers or challenged the values of samurai class until today. It's customary in samurai society not to pry into each other's affairs. The question's not whether a given family has their own circumstances lurking in the background, but only to the extent of it. She's literally talking about, but she's, like, so disconnected we don't even know what she's saying, really. House Takamura is one of the few exceptions to the rule. However, I've never felt completely overly hostile, so often directed toward my family in the outside world during my time at Yamayuri. So when my teammates failed to bring up the issue, I thought they were either acting in accordance to samurai custom or were simply unaware of the resentment some harbor toward Takamura. Even when those girls were gossiping about my family after the results of the CCSE were announced, I chalked it up to fleeting emotional outbursts fueled by their frustration and resentment. Is Aki doing the same thing? Are those words a way for her to vent her anger toward the whole situation? It could be she's making for a big fuss over ice cream in convenience stores not because she's selfish, but because she has no outlet to let off steam. And if I'm right about this, Aki will soon hit her breaking point. The entire squad will be held accountable if Aki sneaks out of the dorms without permission. Worse still, if they're commanding officer, I will bear the brunt of the blame. No, Aki will have to make do. I refuse to sully my family's reputation simply because she has a craving for ice cream. Even for us, that would be too great an injustice to bear. But what should I do? Though it's for educational purpose only, I'm in charge of D Squad. Looking after my subordinate's state of mind is part of my duties.
ねえ、アキ。こういうのはどう？
What's that?
さっきアキが言ったように、来月の模擬戦で私たちが J 招待に白星で勝ったら、みんなでコンビニに行くの。
Interesting.
そう。あくまでも J 招待に勝ったらって話だけど。
Careful. She's probably playing it safe, saying, like, there's really unlikely we'd actually do that. But it could placate her for now. But can you actually deliver if you actually manage it? The Royal Guardman has many soldiers from a commoner background who volunteer to serve nonetheless, instantly recognizable by the distinctive black uniforms. As an aspiring commander, I might someday be in charge of a unit made up of troops who don't share our value system. Oh yeah, you will. Dealing with Aki might provide me with useful experience in such an event. As long as I think this is an investment for the future, assuming some degree of risk should be acceptable compromise.
ねえ、どうかな?
Stress can be channeled in a positive direction by setting clear goals and endowing our daily effort with meaning. If we manage to beat J Squad, a team that has so far defeated us at every step, that unbridled sense of accomplishment should help direct our energies toward even more ambitious goals. Even if we fail in our mission, as long as I can delay her attempt to escape the dorm until the end of August, this plan could be called a success. Only squad leaders are aware the summer vacation has been scheduled after the mock battle, as compensation for the days off we lost during the curriculum change. We will visit the convenience store then. However, I want to believe that some measure of awareness of our samurai status still dwells within Aki's heart.
なるほど。コンビニはご褒美ってわけか。別にそこまでの意味はないけど。ねえ、どうかな。でも、そんな先じゃあの。
went over her head, of course. She doesn't understand the gravity of the compromise I'm offering.
でもね、これが私が譲れるギリギリの線だよ、アキ。
She's trying to offer an olive branch.
まあまあ、ここはあんたも妥協するところでしょ。規則にうるさいユイがここまで引いてくれたんだからさ。ユイ、本当にそれで大丈夫なの？だってもし見つかったら。
Shimako understood, as I thought she would, the weight of the choice I presented.
よし、わかった。それまでは PX のチョコモナカで我慢する。
That's something at least.
その代わり、勝ったらコンビニだよ。約束だからね。わかってるよ。
Good. That should delay Aki's reckless plan until weeks from now, with the peace of mind that entails.
そうと決まったら、こんなところでダラダラしてらんない。ほら、行くよ。アキ？なんなのよ、もう。まずは PX のアイスモナカだよ。早くしないと置いてくよ。あんなに文句言ってたのに、結局食べるんじゃない。
Oh, it's so happy.
私たちも
Terrible things can't possibly be in the future. Couldn't ask for more. As if spending all day in the study was not mentally taxing enough, we were forced to sacrifice our precious summer break to keep pace with the rapid changes in our course of study. Aki's stress has been steadily building up, and my failure to notice the signs are what invited this situation. But despite the challenges, we faced our problems together today and took a step forward as a team. Now we have a clear goal and a sense of purpose in our daily efforts. And in a surprising twist, the incident was a powerful lesson for me. Lacking this newfound purpose, I would have poured everything I had into overcoming Yamashiro-san at the expense of the team. However, Aki and the others helped me realize the importance of approaching even the individual mock battles as a unit. I would never have noticed that without them. Aww, it's so cute. Nothing terrible could possibly happen. Oh, look at these little picture PNGs dancing around in the hallway. Yep. Hey, Yamashiro-san, all by herself. She's got very striking. She's very much a captivating character. They've even designed her character, like the art design and direction they went with her is very interesting. It's very striking.
どうしたの、ユイ？ああ、山城さんね。それにしても、あの席がお気に入りなんだね。お気に入り？うん。いつもあそこに座って本を読んでるよ。へえ、そうなんだ。
Now that she mentions it, this is the first time I've seen Yamashiro-san during lunchtime since I enrolled here. She's staring right at you. I have lunch with the rest of the team in the courtyard or classroom every day, depending on the weather. Since Yamashiro-san usually eats in the lounge, it's no wonder we never run into each other. But where are the other members of her team? Why is she always alone?
まあ、気にはなるよね。さっき J 招待に勝つんだって聞いたし。
Aki's very upset.
特にユイは模擬戦で山城さんと当たるだろうからね。別にそういうことじゃないよ。なんか山城さんが一人でいるのって意外だったから。彼女休み時間はいつも一人で過ごすみたい。いろいろ考えたいから一人にしてほしいんだって。
And some of us have to recharge by ourselves. Some times it's not like a thing of like, oh, like we don't have any friends. Like it might be that, but like it also could just be like, I am constantly around you people. I want to have some me time.
そうなんだ。うん。山城さん、あれだけの連携や作戦一人で全部考えてるでしょ。だから邪魔しないようにしてるって J 招待の子が言ってた。
So she's really good at leading her squad, but they don't see her as a friend. They don't see her as a classmate. They see her as a strategist and a coach, almost like she's a kind of instructor. So, yeah, that also means there's going to be just that barrier there.
J 招待の？うん、飛鳥さん、総選部で戦ってから仲良くなったっていうか、まあたまに話すようになって。
Then that's good, but where's Yuuhi been for all that?
そうなんだ。
I wonder what Yamashiro-san's reading. The textbook? Maybe something more advanced, like a book on military tactics? It also could just be a fun book. Could be she's preparing for the one-on-one battle. No, impossible. That's only wishful thinking. I'm drawn to Yamashiro-san because we share a similar sense of values. However, without any actual insight into her character, the person whose attention I crave may be an illusion, a construct shaped by my assumptions and idealized notions. At least she's aware of that. But interesting, she's actually saying, like, whose attention I crave. She's aware that she's, like, kind of pining after this girl. Go sit with her. Bring her an ice cream or something. She has everything I want. Mine has always been a one-sided fascination. Ironically, she might see you the same way. Oh, why didn't I notice before? Yamashiro-san's the personification of the ideal soldier I wish to become. The solitude is just a price she has to pay. Walking down a lonely road out of her own free will, Yamashiro-san's unyielding determination to improve herself has come at a cost of isolating herself from her teammates. But even so, I long to follow in her footsteps.
Yui?
Yeah.
ごめん。行こう、島子。あ、待ってよ、ユイ。
I knew it. I was avoiding reality, but I knew all along. Whatever I do, Yamashiro-san is far beyond my reach. Interesting. Object of worship.
広大な平地平野を要するユーラシア大陸では広範囲にわたる大規模ベータ軍の電撃的侵攻に対し有効な阻止手段を持たなかった。唯一それを押しとどめ地帯をなすことができたものは何か。それは山岳地帯である。
Yeah, it's interesting that like the beta, as part of like their operations on Earth, they literally level mountains. So like the longer they hold territory, the harder it is to retake that territory.
したがって日本の約7割を占める山岳地帯は本土防衛における最大の利点となるのだ。だが山岳地帯が多く平野が少ない日本において戦術機の利点である距離を取った機動砲撃戦を展開できる聖域は非常に限られている。
So it's a double-edged sword.
ここで思い出してほしい。基本的な対ベータ戦術で戦術機が戦域投入されるタイミングを。
The other thing, obviously, that makes Japan really ideal for like the war is the fact that it's a large island nation, but it means that the entire island should be within the reach of the Navy's bombardment capabilities, which is a really helpful thing for invasion.
それは最終局面、艦砲野砲などによる長距離面制圧、戦車機甲部隊による中距離打撃の後である。
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to forget that the TSFs aren't the end-all be-all, that they tend to be like the finishing blow, the one that gets in and does the very specific cutting and slicing, rather than like the, bulk punching force. Like, we have to still rely on the more conventional things just to get the ground prepared so the TSS have a chance.
つまり、日本における戦術機の戦闘状況は、近接戦の高い発生率を常に前提としなければならないのだ。物量を最大の武器とするベータとの密集近接戦ともなれば、当然補給もままならない。その際、物を言うのが直接打撃兵装を用いた機動近接格闘なのだ。
Yeah. It sucks because it's like ideally you really don't want to resort to using just your melee weapons, but like ironically, even though that's like a really bad case scenario, it's also the scenario you need to be most prepared for because it will happen all the time. It's the last thing you want to do, but it's also the first thing that will happen.
近接格闘戦技能が日本兵士の必修とされている理由がこれだ。だがこのA軍ではさらにその研鑽を要求される。なぜか。それは本土拠点防衛を専任とするからだ。つまり作戦開始状況をベータ進行の迎撃とする近衛軍の接敵時比嘉距離は帝国軍のそれよりさらに密接するのが自明。
Interesting. I never thought that the Royal Guard was literally the first line of defense for the Japanese mainland. That probably means that this invasion, the beta invasion of the mainland itself, I imagine they lose a lot of Royal Guard. Like they must.
将来貴様たちが席を置く日本帝国近衛軍とは作戦行動における密集近接格闘戦の発生率 100% を前提とする世界に類を見ない局地戦特化型の武装組織なのだ。
Right, that's a tall order to live up to.
コマンドポストより D01 式の起動を許可する。
D01 了解。式起動します。
There's that cockpit. August 28th, 1997. Yamayuri Girl Surface Pilot
機
Academy.
体周囲の安全を確認。 D01 機体ステータス異常なし。 D01 発進準備よし。
I wonder if this is the one-on-one fight.
D01 移動を許可する。演習開始座標に進出せよ。
D01 了解。
Oh, cool. Yep, here we go. Yuuhi versus Yamashiro, I'm guessing. Father's masterpiece is my weapon.
物量最大の武器とするベータとの密集近接戦ともなれば当然補給もままならない。その際物を言うのが直接打撃兵装を用いた機動近接格闘なのだ。
Right now, I couldn't ask for a more reassuring ally. Come on, Yuuhi. My opponent is Yamashiro-san. Yep, there she is. I've been working tirelessly to match her grade so that this fight could become a reality. I can feel it, that cold, sharp gaze of hers. Though I can't see her face, I just know. Today, no one will get in our way. The outcome of this match will be decided solely by our abilities. This is what both of us have been hoping for.
開始座標確認。
赤高村候補生座標確認。
白山城候補生座標確認。
現座標を維持。号令を待て。
Oh, the hype is real.
了解。
Understood.
お勝ちませー。頼んだわよ。
Aww. We're standing 500 meters apart, a distance a distance we could close in a single boost. However, since this is a mock battle, we're only allowed to traverse on the ground and dash by surfacing. Positioning and timing will determine the victor.
ここで勝たなきゃ根性を出してけー。
Almost. Good catch there.
ゆいお勝ちませー。ゆい
D Squad slightly trailing behind the competition. Aki won by decision, while Shimako and Nimizumi both went to a draw by timeout. J Squad is 1 win by points, 1 win by decision, and 1 by draw. We won't come out on top unless I win this battle. I will not settle for anything less than taking a point from Yamashiro-san. This will give their team the edge we need to secure first place. I'm a disciple of Takamura Jigen's School of Swordsmanship, though I have yet to attain full mastery. On the honor of my family's school, I cannot let the world witness another disgraceful performance. Furthermore, Father designed and developed the Type 74 melee blade, the training weapon I hold in my hand. It's his successor. I will not allow myself to fall behind. Is she using a Type 74? It didn't look like it.
もう同じ鉄を踏むわけにはいかない。
ただいまより評価演習を開始する。規定時間は8分。双方構え。
No, she does have one. She also has a shield. No, we both have shields. Okay. Da-da. Here we go. Another decent thumbnail right there. The cicadas sing.
始め。
Here we go.
なるほどな。
Statistically speaking, neither of us has a decisive advantage in piloting skill. In which case, given the 8-minute time limit, there's only so many times we can cross swords. Wasted motions will play a deciding factor. I also just realized, so the time for the bot is 8 minutes. That's always a significant number. I'm sure they did that on purpose. Yamashiro-san must realize this as well. Yeah, okay, she does have the same blade. Alright. In a flesh and blood battle, combatants can predict their opponent's next move from the slightest change in their posture or gaze. But what do two TSFs face off? It doesn't work that way. You can't read a TSF like you would a person. Well, you kind of can, but you can't trust it in the same way. In a one-to-one TSF battle, victory or defeat is determined by the pilot's ability to hide the machines into automated preliminary motions, shifting the center of gravity and chain action impulses with minimal wasted motions. And the threads that link together everything at the TSF's muscles, the carbonic actuators. I've been improving my synergy at the TSF by studying armored fencing and Takamura's Jigen Ryo style swordsmanship. So no matter what happens, I won't blame the machine. Losing the battle would only be the same as losing a one-on-one fight in person. He looks so happy. There we go. Saw that coming. Ooh. It's so cool that they can take little basic images. They can make it feel so compelling. What a heavy blow. She's quite the adept at drawing the full power of the carbonic actuators. Oh, here she comes. Oh god, I can't get a read on her. How cunning she is, even under pressure. Sheesh. Already looks like she's unsteady. Follow-up strike and it's her win. Nothing? That's right. The attack just now was intended as a death blow. Yamashiro-san forcibly shifted her TSF's horizontal axis with her first step forward and then attempted to decapitate me by using the jets as a boost slash upward. There can only be no doubt she wasn't thinking about a second strike. Yamashiro-san intended to decide the match right then and there. I never imagined she would try something so reckless. Is she gonna do it again? Again, those eyes. Almost as if she was trying to pierce the veil of my mind. Did she kick it? Did she just kick the TSF? Yamashiro-san's clearly in control. My machine's too slow to respond, and I can't seem to regain the upper hand. Oh boy. She's freaking relentless. Why haven't you attacked yet, Yui? I mean, I'm sure she's trying, but like... What was that? Did the receiver pick up Yamashiro-san clicking her tongue? Maybe her poker face is finally slipping? Well, of course it did. She must be having the same trouble with her machine's response time as I am. Stop distracting me! She just turned off the notifications. Oh. Okay. Backpedaled at least. Oh. She's really going all in. Last strike, last attempt. Oh, she's like, oh crap, I did the same thing. What is this?
休み時間はいつも一人で過ごすらしいよ。いろいろ考えたいから一人にしてほしいんだって。
Now I understand. Single-minded in her quest for perfection, Yamashiro-san will let nothing stand in her way. And with no one to protect, with no one to command, she's free to let her primal instincts run wild. Well, like, the other thing too is like she also might have singled out you as her rival, but she also wants you to be able to actually like beat her. She wants to have a rival who, and she also wants to obviously everybody be the best they can be. She's like, she probably is 100%. Maybe she has a better insight into like the war and the fact that like it's gonna be really bad, and so she's like, come on, be better than this. The unshakable violence in is the essence of Yamashiro-san's fighting style. Dang it! How stupid can I be? My distraction fascination gave her an opening. Alright, what happened? I bet she lost again. Come on, game, what happened? Oh, it's so dusty. Get out of here.
Aka, 1本! それまで!
Oh my gosh. I had a panic moment because it said red side. I was like, but that was Yuuhi, right? Right? What colors were they? Listen, I like the whole rest of this, like the class is cheering too. It's kind of cool because Yamashiro is so on top. It makes sense they'd be excited, but still, it's like even more isolating. Kind of feel bad for her.
Kakki! 演習開始座標まで交代下がれ
Did I really beat her? That's right, the flight recorder. She's like, I can watch it. I can see what happened. Oh.
Aka, 1本それまで
So she knocked her like the blade out of the TSF's like direction, like went for a kind of a responding chop to the shoulder. So it was a literal like sword maneuver, all because of a single opening. The tip of Yamashiro-san's long blade grazed the soil, slowing down her second strike. Oh, that sucks. Actually, that kind of sucks. She put too much power behind that final slash. That's what happened. Saw it on the tape clear as day, but I could scarcely believe my eyes. My body moved on its own with no conscious input on my part. Run this flight again 100 times over, I would have come up short every time. She might be listening to you. It was a dirty, ugly win. Nowhere close to the decisive victory I was hoping for. But a win's a win. But this will have to do. After all, I owe accrued victory to the words of one man.
一瞬迷ったな。そのくだらん美学は多くの戦友を殺す。
I'm still not convinced Instructor Sonata speaks the truth. But at the very least, I can see where he's coming from. I wonder how Yamashiro-san's doing. Alright. I do think we're going to end things here for now. Pretty powerful, really cool experience to see. And now, the after effects. Because I imagine now we're going to be like, hey, let's go get to the convenience store right now. And Yuui's going to be like, well, I was thinking we could do it like tomorrow. She's like, wow, what's the point of that? We're going to sneak out. And you promised, right? And Yuui's going to be like, crap. She's going to be torn because she's going to have her honor, which dictates that she follows the rules, and her honor, which means that she needs to keep her promises. And so we're going to see a really strong conflict where she's going to have her principles, like literally the same principles on both sides, like conflicting. And what is Yuuhi going to do? Because like that feels too thematic for what's going to happen. And we'll see what happens. I'm really curious to see how it's all going to play out. And I feel like now we're going to see a real internal conflict with the squad. Because it's very clear that like there's kind of a rumbling underneath. And what Yuuhi did with Aki was essentially distract it, put it away and just not deal with it for a while. But problems like that, like undercurrents and like misgivings, and I even argue that Aki's probably, if she's calling like the whole structure of the samurai society BS, she probably has a lot of resentment bubbling under the surface, and that resentment probably only grew over time, not diminished. Sometimes those feelings can diminish over time, so delaying can be a very effective tool, but in this situation, society, and under this pressure, I think it's the opposite. I think Aki's going to like explode. and I'm really interested to see what happens there. But we'll have to get to that when we get to it. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. It's a pleasure being able to share this with you. As we listen to like the background summer sounds, I hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great start to your week. It's just good to be here. I have some interesting stuff coming up. Tomorrow's going to be a really interesting episode. There's some news that's been going on that I decided to do some comment on. It's a very basic video. I didn't even put like background music because I just wanted it to be pure dialogue. It's very different, and I doubt it's going to be a very successful video, but if you are interested at all in like the creative and like YouTube kind of backside of making content, it's a lot to do with that, and specifically visual novels, and so I felt like I just should say something because I wanted to. So I invite you to keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, got a lot of week stuff to come up. It should be real fun. Life got real hectic for me, so I could see the schedule being a little tight this week, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm real excited to continue this story with you next time. So until next video, watching me up, see me next. I'll see you there.